All right, so here we go with another video about notary fees. It's like this conversation does not end. It does not stop, but that's all good. I want to go back to the topic of whether fees are being cut, and if there's some conspiracy or large plan by signing services and other people to reduce the fees that are being paid to notaries. I don't know if there is. I saw someone post in a group a couple days ago with an email from, it might have been from a signing service or something, I don't know. But it basically, in the email, the person from the company, whatever company it was saying that, yeah, if you would decrease your rates, you can get more volume from us. Something along those lines. I might not be quoting it exactly, but the essence of it was that they could get more signings if they have a lower rate, or if they decrease their rate. So I guess that's proof that these signing services are looking to reduce the fees that they give to notaries. That's just one example. In fact, that's probably the only example in writing that I've seen where that gives evidence to the fact that maybe signing services, title companies, whoever, are trying to reduce notary fees. Honestly, I'm not losing any sleep over the idea or the thought of that personally. It doesn't bother me one bit. And I'm not just saying that because I get a certain amount of business, or because it hasn't quote unquote impacted me. I'm saying that because at the end of the day, no matter what business you're in, no matter what field of work or line of work you're in, there's always going to be someone that can and will do the job cheaper. So if you have a certain rate that you like, or that you won't quote unquote leave your house for a certain amount of money, that's fine, and you can stick to your guns. You can stand by that, and all the best to you. That hopefully it gets you to where you want to be in terms of your financial goals or your goals in this business. But I think it's a waste of time to lose sleep over it, because at the end of the day, and I know this from my real estate businesses, is that you can be a high volume, low fee notary, or you can be a low volume, high fee notary and make the same amount of money, or you can be a high fee, high volume and make a whole lot of money, right? So it all depends on the approach that you individually want to take to this business. But for example, as a real estate agent, some agents work in markets that are lower price point markets, like under $250,000. And so in order to make a lot of money, they have to do a lot of deals to make, to get to six figures, right? Whereas at my average price point in the $450,000, $500,000 price point, I can get there, with probably half the number of deals, versus someone in the luxury market, where we're talking about $1 million plus, they can get there in, even less deals, right? So it depends on really the kind of business model you want to have. Do you want to do high volume, where you don't really care, or you're less concerned about the fees, or do you want to do lesser volume but still meet a certain financial goal, which means that you have to make sure that you can absolutely get a certain amount per signing. So it all depends on how you want to shape and fashion and run your business, but there's really no one size fits all. Everyone has to do what's best for them. So when I see these conversations in the various groups and things, I don't personally engage in them, because I choose to use this channel as the outlet to kind of have dialogue with you guys, and you guys can comment down below and we can engage regarding this topic. But I just think, you know, propagating these kinds of things is just not a good use of time, you know, in my opinion. Some other people may disagree or feel differently, and that's fine, you know. But I just feel like everyone has to figure out what is best for them and go after that and pursue that. I just encourage you guys to not lose sleep over this stuff and not to buy into a lot of the conversations that are being had. And I'm not saying that they're bad conversations. I just think it's just too much conversation about it. And at the end of the day, we don't necessarily have leverage to change it, you know, at this point, you know. I mean, unless somebody has some other idea around that. But you know, it's not really worth losing sleep over right now. At the end of the day, like, you're compensated in, you know, the amount you're being paid and how you're being compensated is a direct byproduct of the value that you bring, right? So if you're just a regular old run-of-the-mill notary or loan signing agent, then, and you're not building relationships, then you're not going to be compensated like somebody that has a strong relationship with the signing service or the title company, right? But if you've demonstrated value and you provide value, I like to believe that these title companies and signing services, you know, don't mind paying you what you're worth, as long as it makes sense for them from a business perspective. Another thing, you know, you don't have insight into necessarily is if these signing services are paying less because maybe the fees on the other side of the transaction with the title company are being compressed. Like, we don't necessarily know that. We don't necessarily, you know, always have that insight. So you just never know, you know. My best advice is to just, you know, do you go after your goals and accomplish your goals, but don't get caught up in all of this drama. And what it is negativity. You know, that's kind of what it is. It's negativity, and it's just not, you know, encouraging or inspiring to people that are getting into the business, to people that are in the business, right? And then two, at the end of the day, you know, being a notary, being a loan signing agent can be, you know, a great source of income, and many people do it full-time and are successful full-time. But you should be looking to diversify. And I know I've said that in other videos. You should be looking to diversify and put in place other streams of income. Because if you're depending on just one stream of income and it blows up, or you take a hit, or something happens, then what are you going to do? But if you have multiple streams of income and one takes a hit, then, you know, you'll be good. You know, you will have less to worry about, less to lose sleep over. And then another thing I want to talk about is, my man Brian Tate said, you know, one of the ways that you can increase your income is by basically reducing your overhead. And that's definitely true. Right now, I'm personally not one of those people that has to figure out how much it costs me to print one sheet of paper and, you know, all of that stuff. I track my expenses, you know, I track my expenses, but I'm not like down to the penny in terms of what my expenses are going to be, because in general, this business is a pretty low overhead business, especially compared to other businesses I've been in, which I really love. So I'm not like counting the pennies. But if you want to increase your income, then figure out ways to reduce your overhead. You know, that's another approach to fighting, quote unquote, the reduction in fees or the quote unquote reduction in fees that we're seeing. So that's just another point. But this conversation about notary fees, like I said, is just a little bit of a waste of time. I don't even know why people post about it. Nothing against them, you know. But I just think it's not propagating a conversation that's going to help people, in my opinion. Again, people may disagree and have their own opinion, and that's all good. I don't have any issues with that. But in my short time of being in this business, but in the broad time that I've run other businesses, this principle of walking through and working through the cycles of fees being reduced is not unique to the notary industry. We see this in real estate agent industry, where people are talking about like reduced commissions and this, that, and the third. So it's nothing. It's not a new conversation. It just may be new to a lot of the notaries out here, because there's quote unquote such an influx of notaries into the industry, or there's an influx of pandemic notaries, as Mr. Griff likes to call them. So that's just my 2 cents, my encouragement. Get out here and do you run your business the way the right way, and the way that makes sense for you and that helps you meet your goals financially. If you want to make more money, then what does everyone say? Go direct. So get your behind out here and go direct if that's what you want to do to make more money. It's pretty simple. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on this whole notary fees thing. I'm sure this will not be the last video that I make about this, because there's going to always be more conversation around this. But I just like to come on here and share my 2 cents about it every now and then, and just to give some perspective from myself, not just as a notary, but as an entrepreneur and as the owner of other businesses. Anyways, I hope you guys found my little 2 cent input here interesting or valuable, and let me know down in the comments below what your thoughts are, and we can talk about it. Let's dialogue about it. All right, until the next video, peace.